You know those things you blurt out, not because they're true, but because you want to convince yourself you're the one holding the power?
That was me.
I said something I thought would protect me, but it ended up destroying the only person who had never wanted to hurt me.
I'm Alina.
I'm 32 years old, and I'm the woman who told the love of her life that he was just a phase. Now, even hearing his name feels like a punch to the chest. Before you scroll away, I want to say something. If you've ever pushed someone away because you were terrified of being loved the right way, if you've ever said something just to feel strong for a fleeting moment, stay with me. I want you to understand what real regret looks like when it finally hits you that you were the problem all along. I met Ryan during a time when I thought I was finally figuring myself out. I'd just gotten out of a breakup, was carrying a lot of anger toward the world, and had convinced myself I didn't need anyone. Ryan was the exact opposite of everything I thought I wanted: gentle, patient, calm. Where I was chaos, he was peace. Where I picked fights with the world, he found ways to make peace with it. Maybe that contrast was what pulled me toward him. He never tried to win me over, he simply showed up. After just one conversation, he remembered how I liked my coffee. He listened when I rambled about childhood dreams I'd almost forgotten. He never interrupted, never pushed, just gave me a space to exist in, a space I didn't know how to live in. Here's the thing no one tells you: being loved softly when all you've known is chaos feels strange. It's unfamiliar, unsettling, and it can feel undeserved. Instead of leaning into it, I questioned it, teased it, pushed it away. I told my friends, he's nice, but this isn't going anywhere. He's just a phase, a rebound vibe. I said it like it didn't matter, like he didn't matter. But words have weight. We spent a full year together, a year of quiet mornings, midnight walks, gentle forehead kisses, and long hugs that felt like home. On days I couldn't bring myself to speak, he gave me reasons to stay. But I kept searching for reasons to leave. I need more excitement. I need someone with an edge. I'm not ready to settle. The truth? I didn't know how to accept a love that didn't make me fight for scraps. The last night we spent together is burned into my memory. We had dinner at my apartment. He brought my favorite dessert. He'd made a playlist just for me. Somewhere between the soft music and the glow of the candles, he looked at me with quiet hope and asked, "Do you think we're in this for the long haul?" I panicked. I laughed, not because it was funny, but because fear made me cruel. "You're just a phase, Ryan. You knew that, right?" He didn't flinch. He didn't argue. He simply looked down, nodded, and said, "Thanks for being honest." That was it. No fight. No accusations. Just a silence that seemed to wrap around my throat. He left that night and never came back. Days became weeks, and suddenly the silence wasn't empowering, it was suffocating. No texts. No playlists. No Sunday morning calls asking if I'd eaten. I kept expecting him to show up, the way he always had. But he didn't. Instead, I saw him online, smiling, peaceful, and it broke me. Not because he'd moved on, but because I realized I had never let myself truly stay. Now, when someone mentions his name, my chest tightens. Not because I want sympathy, but because that name is the echo of everything I lost by pretending I was too strong to need someone. People ask if I regret it. I can't explain it in a single word. It's regret, yes, but also guilt, shame, and grief for something I destroyed with my own hands. I thought calling him a phase made me powerful, untouchable, free. But Ryan wasn't the phase. My fear was. And by the time I understood that, he was already gone. He never reached out again. Not on my birthday. Not when my mom got sick. Not even when I posted something I knew he'd understand. He honored my words, even though they had shattered him, and that's why he remains unforgettable. These days, I date men who do all the right things, say the right words, buy the perfect gifts, follow all the moves, but none of them feel like him. None of them see me the way he did, because he didn't love the polished version I presented to the world. He loved the mess, the chaos, the girl who didn't know how to be held, yet he held her anyway. So if you have someone who shows up quietly, who chooses you without the drama, who stays without being asked, please, don't call them just a phase. Because one day, when the silence is all you have left, and their name slips into a casual conversation, you'll feel that sting, that ache, that brutal realization, they were never temporary. You were simply too blind to see it.